Hi there! I wish you a happy new year 2016, and connected with a new year there are new year resolutions. You have some, I have some. And some of my resolutions are connected, how else could it be, with plugins. So, with plugins we are back into business. And I thought about my plugins. If you see my list of plugins, or if I see my list of plugins, the question arises, do I need them all? Is it necessary to have 20 EQs and 25 compressors and all these special plugins and these analog model plugins and UAT and stuff? And I saw a lot of YouTube videos in the internet who tell you it's not about the plugins, it's not about the gear, it's about it's about honing your craft, it's about exercising, doing a lot of mixes, and this will get you properly into the ballpark of being a good mixer. And I think this is true, but this is not the whole truth. The whole truth, at least for me, is that I need all these plugins, or at least most of them. And I'd like to tell you why. In order to approach this topic, I divide plugins into three main categories. So there is this category 1. This is the set of plugins you need in order to get your mixes done. And I have to agree that most DAWs are equipped with a really comprehensive set of plugins which will enable you to do so. So last but not least, in your DAW you've got everything, the so-called stock plugins you need in order to get a mix properly done. So now the question arises, what else do you need? Do you need these other third-party plugins, or even analog plugins, or special plugins, or this or that? That was my question. So this brings me to the second category of plugins, which are, I call them my usable plugins. These are plugins which support my workflow and are for me a joy of use. And this is not the case with, or sometimes not the case with, stock plugins. I work with Cubase, as you can see in the background here, and some of the Cubase plugins I really like, but some of them I don't like because they don't feel joyful to me. I can work with them, but it's, well, it feels clunky for me, and I prefer to work with other plugins, which kind of more fit for me, serve the purpose better. And the reasons why this is so, it can be the way the plugins reacts to your tweaking, or it can also be the GUI layout, just the graphical design which is appealing to you, and then you like to work with these plugins, or maybe it has just the knobs which are important for you, not too few, not too many, and these plugins inspire you, make you work faster, and I think you all agree, if you're inspired in the zone during mixing, then the result will be a better mix, rather than, in comparison, mixing with sometimes boring stock plugins, which get also your mix done, but I think you need a longer time and you are not so inspired. So that was the answer for me. So what's wrong about using nice looking third-party plugins which have big knobs, which are looking kind of analog, if you like working with them and are inspired. Okay, so that is for me a reason to buy them, although technically I don't need them. Okay, first I'd like to show you some of the Cubase stock plugins which I prefer, and also show some of them which I mostly don't use because they feel a bit clunky to me, or because they are just not appealing to me. Okay, we are not going to listen to something, just would like to show you them. Okay, a Cubase plugin I use very often is the dynamics section. It's the compressor, for example. Has a very clear layout, and everything is self-explanatory. And there is also a quite comprehensive dynamics section called VSD Dynamics, where you've got a gate, a compressor, a limiter, and everything in one in one view. It's all laid out in a logical way, and for me it's great and easy to use. It has a transparent sound and is doing what it should do. Very great for the workflow. I also like the Cubase stock reverbs, for example, the Revelation. I also did a tutorial on that, so it's very clear, and I think also these view explains very well what the reverb is actually doing, and also the delay, for example, the stereo delay is quite easy. This one, great. What I don't like is, for example, the vintage compressor. It looks like a 1176 mock-up, but it has also the same knobs, but it doesn't sound the same. And I prefer using the real emulations from IK Multimedia or UAD, so I never use this one. Or the mod delays, just another one which I don't use. Mod delay, here it is. Oh, not mono delay, sorry, mod delayed. Where is it? Mod machine, that's the one. Help, too complicated. So maybe it's a super creative super tool, but I just don't get it. Okay, so far for the stock plugins. Now for this second category, I would like to show you the plugins. Wait a minute, I forgot the first category, the channel strip plugins, which I start using more and more often. So there's the stock equalizer, which I also used on this channel. And I also like the channel strip elements very much, especially the saturators. So the magneto, tape, tube, they're all great and easy to dial in just with these knobs. And I use them quite often. And I also sometimes use the tube compressor in the strip. So now I'm finished with the stock plugins, which are great in Cubase, by the way. And now I'd like to show you, just as an example, some of my joyful to use plugins. So it's the classic compressor. Where is it? I really like the T-Rex plugins, so it's wait a moment. Yeah, the 1176 emulation, which is sounding great, and just I got accustomed to the workflow of this plugin, and it's also kind of standard. I also like the UAD version very much, and of course the LATE emulation. I'll show you the
UAD version. Where is it? Oh, let's search it. Hello? Okay, UAD, where are you? Teletronic. Ah, here we are. I forgot the minus. Just two knobs, the switch for compression and limiting, and that's it. And that's great for me. I also like, don't ask me why, the MEQ from Melter Productions. I also have the FabFilter Pro Q2, which is great too, but just kind of got used to this equalizer. It has lots of options, is for me easy to use. Has a built-in sonogram, which the FabFilter doesn't. An analyzer, you can set it right with this slider, and so adjust the amount of additional harmonics you would like to hear in the equalizer. So it's just a great workhorse tool for me. Not always working, but in the most cases. Then standards like Echo Boy. Just great sound. You just choose your style. You don't have to go into the very special tweak knobs and get a great sound, and all the knobs are easily reachable and self-explanatory. And of course, I like the Decapitator, which is also kind of standard. In most cases, the same with me. I don't mess around with the different modes. I stay here, drive it, play a little bit with the tone, with the cut, and I'm done very fast. By the way, there's also a free version of Decapitator. Maybe I can show you. Distortion. Head Crusher free, yeah. So if you are looking for or if you don't want to pay for a Sound Toys plugin, this is a free one, and it does quite the same. I don't know which mode it supports, but it's great. Right, maybe some more. I really like the British channel, which is an SSL emulation, and also the white channel from IK, because in my opinion they are sounding very good, and I also like the layout. It's a complete channel strip, so you can do all the EQing. You've got a compressor. You have also a gate, so in many cases you just slap it onto your track and you're done. And last but not least, one of my mostly used third-party plugin is in the respect of joy of use is Voxenko Spend. So this is an absolute standard for me. Right, so far for the second category. And now for the third category, the Better Maker plugins. And I'd like to show you some of them. Just as a showcase, I put some of the sound makers on the master bus, and I'm going to show you the difference. Meanwhile, I'm going to switch them off so we can hear how the good sound is going to build up if I switch them on. But before we go to these plugins which I use on the master bus, I also like to show you some of my Better Maker plugins I use on tracks. So here, this is a free one. It's an emulation of the Roland Chorus, which is I think built in the Juno 106, and it's a great sounding chorus plugin. And this is a go-to for me for guitars and in this case, Rhodes piano. Okay, there is another one. I use it for stereo widening. It's also kind of chorusy effect. It's the little micro shift from Soundtoys, which I think in the Christmas deals you got for free if you spend some money on whatever. I put it on the snare just to brighten it. So this is also one of my Betamaker plugins for tracks.
But there is also a very special third category of plugins, or to be exact, a third category divided into two parts. The first part are my so-called Betamaker plugins. These are plugins, mostly analog modeled ones, which give me instant gratification rather than delayed gratification. I will show in the project what I mean.
Okay, let's go to the master bus. What I'm going to do now, I'm part for part switching them on so that you can hear the effect. So this is the first one. The old version of the LA2A, it's just I think the LA2. And I'm actually not compressing, I just used it for sound. It may be subtle, but I hope some of you can hear the effect. I love it. So this is one of those plugins which give me instant gratification. You don't have to tweak anything, just slap it on. Maybe adjust the knobs just to get a little smidge of compression and you're done. And what is it doing for me? It's kind of enhancing the bass. Everything is becoming more clear and more stereo widened and I don't know, mojo. Right. So the next one, I will leave this on so we can hear the cumulative effect. It's the Pultec. And the Pultec is doing the same thing. I didn't dial in any equalization. I just let the signal run through the tubes and transformers of this plugin. Now let's listen. Don't know, I can't explain what's happening, but the low end is kind of more present tight. The whole mix becomes more body and actually as you could see here, I think the RMS rised a little bit, but just a smidge. But the whole loudness is not increased by this plugin, so it's actually doing something magic. And well, just kind of worked in this setup. Right. Oh, now something very special. BX Refinement. What a great tool. When I first read about it, I criticized it because what do I need a deharsher? Just grab an EQ, pull out the annoying frequencies and that's it. But I was wrong. It does something special and I played a little with it and within minutes now, seconds, I got a better sound and you will very clearly hear the difference. Okay, so you have to decide for yourself if you liked it or not. I liked it very much. It's especially brought out this saw synth, which was without this plugin kind of nasal and sizzly. Don't know how to describe it. And if I switch this plugin on, this disappears, and the sound I wanted to achieve is even more enhanced. Without. Okay, BX Refinement, great tool, but you have to be careful. I also tried it on other mixes and it didn't work. So it sometimes works, sometimes not. It depends on your, don't know, frequency content or the way you mixed. But I would say in maybe 50% cases it really creates a sound enhancement. Right, so the next one, LA2A. Small and nifty as it looks, it creates, in my opinion, a great gluing effect, especially for this more uptime groovy track. And I would say the effect is dramatic. Okay, so now for my last example, Betamaker plugins, it's Reverberate from Accord Digital. So this is very special. In their webpage, they claim that this plugin is a very subtle reverb, which is made not for exposure, listen how great I am, but it's enhancing the room without, how could I tell you? You don't quite hear the reverb, you more feel it. So it's a very subtle reverb, it widens your ambience, your room, without bragging about. I think that's the right term. So I'm switching it on, and I'm quite sure you won't hear it. But when I switch it off, then you will definitely hear it. And this is what I like about this plugin. Okay? So it sounds natural, not reverby at all. And now let's switch it off. On again. Okay, for me it feels like the mix kind of deflates. I'm going to switch on and off this whole plugin brigade in the insert, so that you will hear the cumulative effect switched on and off, and it's quite dramatic, I would say. Okay, now we saw these instant gratification plugins. It's just you put them into your insert slot and instantly, with minimum tweaking, get a better sound. So this is great. And the other ones of this third category are the so-called special plugins.
For me, a plugin is special if it has special features, can create special sounds or special modulations you can't achieve with other plugins, and in most cases have lots of knobs for tweaking. And I like knobs. I'm a nerd if I consider this. And these are plugins which enable you to get a sound never heard before, enable you to create modulations and variations, or even can get you into sound design zones you can't achieve with, as I would say, normal plugins. And these plugins are great for me. This concludes my tutorial, my thoughts of how to use plugins, at least for me. And I would like to hear your feedback. What are your favorite special plugins or your better maker plugins? Do you agree with my philosophy, or do you say, oh, I don't need all this special stuff, I can mix with stock plugins only? Or are you more the person who prefers analog model plugins because you started from out of the box mixing into in the box mixing? So I'd like to hear your opinions and your experiences. Okay, that's it. So long. Goodbye.